there was points during this whole session for this part where I like just checked out, like mentally. It was terrible. But afterwards, it was cool. Wayne, you know, he's a funny guy. Like, he tells you how it is, and I respect that because I think that most of my tattoos are, it's like half Wayne's thought process and like half mine. Sometimes it's like 80% Wayne's thought process and 20% mine, but it all works out for the best. Like, he really knows what he's doing. And I mean, he's a wonderful artist. And I'm super happy with my sleeve. I met Wayne back in the beginning of 2015. My buddy started getting a sleeve by him, and then they all knew through a mutual friend. And I was kind of wanted a tattoo, and I wasn't sure. And then I went to go work in Hawaii, and I started sending some pictures of a design I wanted for my upper arm. And I originally just wanted one, and then I got back, and then I was like, oh, how's the design coming out? Like, what does it look like? And then he pieced it all together for me. I sat down with him, and then we went over it. And then this is the design here for the first one. So this is the first one I ever got. It's you know, from the top of my shoulder down here. And then he kind of drew the ship up, and I was like, oh, I want like a wheel somewhere, you know what I mean? And then he popped that on there. And the funny story about that is I went in to go get it, and I kind of bitched out a little bit, and he's like, started setting up the ink, and he's all like, well, he's like, you're gonna get it. And I was like, well, I don't know, man, I'll just give you 600 bucks and I'll come back like next week. He's like, no, you're Mike, your money doesn't matter to me. If you want the tattoo, you get it now. And I was like, okay. So I sat down and got the tattoo, and then from there, I just started getting more. So that was the first one. He did that, I think it was like 6 hours, and then when I came back another time, and then I got the eagle done here on the inside, the shark he put underneath the ship. I didn't even want the shark at first. I was like, I don't know about that. Shark? I was like, really? Like a great white shark? He's like, no, trust me, it'll be sick, dude. I'm like, all right. And then from there, I think we went from, I think we did my elbow. So I've got a rose on my elbow. I've always liked the way roses looked. I mean, it's like a solid elbow piece, you know, they look kind of wonky, and it looks good no matter which way it turns. So that one was pretty rough. Your elbow sucks. I mean, if you don't have a sleeve yet, it's rough, but it's worth it. It's cool.
Quick commercial break, just a little time to take to talk about Western Rise. Right now I'm running the Evolution pant and the Versa hat. Right now, they have a really cool Kickstarter campaign with 961 backers and only 14 days to go for their new Meadowshell Jacket. This jacket is a 4-way stretch, water repellent, stain resistant jacket. It's not like a baggy trash bag. It's not like a loud, crinkly jacket. It's soft. It's nice. It's comfortable. And when you're done wearing this thing, there's no more of the days of tying around your waist. No more of finding space and where to shove it in your bag, because this thing turns into a bag. It converts into a little sling. You throw it over your shoulder. You go about doing your thing. I'm really excited about this one, and I can't wait to get mine. Right now in the comments below, I'm putting my little affiliate link. Follow it. Support, get on that Kickstarter campaign. In the description below, I'll have more info for you as well. So go get yours, and let's get back in the video. Thank you so much for supporting Western Rise, and thank you so much for watching, guys. Now Ryan's gonna start talking about his chest piece, and there's archival footage interstitially linked from years ago. All right, back to the video.
And then I got my ditch done. This is kind of a weird one. So I didn't know what to put in my ditch, and then I was like talking to Wayne, and I asked him, I was like, have you ever done like a hinge anywhere? And he's all, what do you mean like a hinge, like a door hinge? I was like, yeah, like maybe an old classic looking hinge. And he's like, I mean, he's like, I'm sure there's something, you know. And he drew this up, and then, you know, he looked at a bunch of designs, just throwing pictures back and forth, and he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna draw something up for you and see what we think about it. So then we put this here. Probably the weirdest tattoo I have, but I think one of the most functionally looking ones, considering where it's at. This one, he drew the lighthouse up, and then I think I asked him, I was like, well, maybe we could put a flower somewhere down there. Where would that work out? And he just pieced this whole thing together. So, and I'm really happy with this one. I love this one a lot. I'm happy with all of them, but this one's really cool. And then at the same time we did the wrist. So I did this guy and my wrist all at once and wrapped it all around. And then I think after the wrist we went over, yeah, so this one from the wrist, we went here and we did the snake. Because I had this very awkward, weird space left here and I wasn't sure where to put what. And then he was like, well, why don't you do like a snake or a dragon or something? We put the anchor in. And that was the last, this was the last main piece I put on my arm, was this anchor. So that kind of sealed in all of the main pieces. So then I kind of had just dead space in between everything. And that was the fun part. I mean, after that, you kind of just, you're like, okay, what are all the little things I wanted that I didn't want as a big piece, and where can we put it at, you know? And that was fun. So I mean, I had a lot of fun with that. I was like, oh, I want butterflies somewhere. I want to put like maybe a little sparrow, like some cherries and stuff, like little dice, you know, things like that. So we worked from the bottom of my arm after we finished everything. So I went all the way from the top down, filling in all the pieces, and then worked my way up, filling it up for the finisher. And then we started here and he just did little, I mean, stars and dots, that's a staple, right? So we did that everywhere. And then it was like, this is the last session, was the back, I mean the top and the back of my arm. And I think there's 2 dice back there, and then I have the cherries. And then I also have, what I wanted him to do is I had him put his little Waynarchy symbol, and then the year that we finished it. So I finished it in 2015. I started it in 2015 and I finished it in 2015. So I started, I think, in May, yeah, it was my brother's birthday, May 27th of 2015. And I finished it sometime in the middle close to end of December. So I would just go, it was like I would go in 2 weeks later once it was healed, I would go in again and, you know, get another one. It went on like that for like 6 months. I don't know, I think it went back like 12, 15 times. I mean, the sessions vary too because of the pieces, but I mean, it came out solid. I'm super happy with it. So I have all of this too. So I have my whole chest, my stomach, and then the panther. And so my chest, I did everything up this way to my collar. I did that all in one sitting, like outline, shading, color, everything all at once. It took like 12 hours, I think, and we took breaks. It was rough. It was probably the worst pain of my entire life. So we did that. I mean, it was taxing, I think, on me and Wayne, because I mean, that's a long time to tattoo, you know, doing that 12 hours straight. It was horrible, like pain-wise, but I mean, it came out great, and I'm super happy with it. I think we did this in, I think it was 2016 or 2017. And yeah, I mean, I always wanted an eagle, and I always wanted my collar done, like a, you know, cool little flower thing. I mean, there was different ideas that went back and forth when we were doing it, but I knew I wanted the eagle with this like snake or something, you know. So he drew that up, and then we drew up my collar, and then we figured out where the weird spacing would, you know, what we put there, and then, I mean, I think he even has these on his wall, these butterflies. I think that's where I picked them from. So they're different ones. And then little flowers. So
Alrighty, brother.
fucking shading.
Bro, muchacho.
There we go.
You got this.
There we fucking go.
With a little bit of dude, and it's there. That's how it works. Straight up. Give it to you one more time. A little bit of little bit of what? A little bit of. Yeah. See, it's like right now I'm like, oh, why did I sing? But I forgot. Yeah, let's go. And it's there now. Oh, good. A little bit in here. Lay chili body down, son.
Not doing the fucking sound.
I know, like, I forget 'cause I'm tired. I've been capturing for a long time. This is what's gonna make it sick. There we go. Damn, man. You so tatted. Looks cool, man. I like it. Oh yeah, do that. That's cool. That's good. Alright, get up. Let's check it out. Oh, that's good, dude. Make it fly. But yeah, there you go. This thing's like glare central right now. Not bad. I can't wait to see it healed.
All of this was, I knew I wanted, I did the Pharaoh's, I asked for the Pharaoh's horses, and then as far as everything around it, that was kind of Wayne putting things together, like what would look good with it. So I think he came up with the American flags and then the rose. You know, I like the flowers. I think they're cool. I feel like you can never get too many flowers. You know, he put the big center rose in there, and yeah, it really pulled everything together. It fit like right, nice and neat underneath the my top portion. And then so we did this. This was 2 sessions. So I did the line work and all the shading in one, and then I came back. I think it was like maybe 5 months later. The big work sucks, so it was like kind of like once you get it done, like you don't want to like do it again, or you want to. I don't know. It kind of depends on your mind at that point. But I think I waited like 5 months after the fact. And then I came back and did all the color. So, I think a year later, I think I did this Panther in 2019. So I did this when I think Wayne had just come back from traveling around. It was when he was going all over the U.S. and stuff, and he didn't have a studio here. I think we did it out in Treble Art Studio out there in Corona, I think it was called. But this one took like about 4 hours. That one hurt too. I finished that up, and then I think earlier this year I just put in these 2 flowers and then these 2 little leaves. So that was, yeah, this was earlier this year. So, and then that finished up my whole front. And now we're gonna start working on my sleeve for my right arm pretty soon. So that's pretty exciting. Arms are fun once you start doing it. Like, they're not, I mean, certain parts suck, but I mean, other than that, it's kind of like more of a creative, fun experience, you know? Big stuff sucks, but you gotta get, big work, you gotta go through it. So, but other than that, I mean, that's all, That's it, that's my tattoos, and Wayne's a solid guy. I love him. He's become one of my closest friends over the past 5-6 years now that I've known him. And, I mean, I wouldn't trade anything else for, our friendship that we have now through that.